They called her name over the school intercom at 8:07 a.m. Adela Williams, please report to principal's office immediately. Every head in the hallway turned. Adeola froze. She already knew what it meant. Today was the announcement. The international scholarship, the only one student in the entire region would receive. She clutched her backpack against her chest as she walked, her heartbeat pounding so loud she could feel it in her palms. Her legs trembled, but her essay had gone viral in academic circles. The scholarship board had literally called the school last week praising her brilliance. There was no logical reason to fear until she opened the office door. 3 adults sat inside. The principal, a suited representative from the Scholarship Foundation, and a woman from the Community Standards Board. They didn't smile. Adela, the principal began, folding his hands. Thank you for coming. We have reviewed all applications. His eyes flickered, nervous, apologetic, guilty. Unfortunately, you were not selected. Adeola blinked. For a second, she didn't understand English. Sir, her voice cracked. There must be a mistake. The scholarship rep cleared his throat and slid the rejection letter forward like a death notice. Your scores in essay were exceptional, but there was a new review committee change and... The woman cut in sharply. We learned certain details about your family background. This scholarship is meant to represent a particular kind of image. Adeola stared at her. My family background? What does that have to do with merit? The woman adjusted her jacket, voice cold. We are trying to maintain a profile that aligns with the public face of the foundation. Adeola didn't need anyone to translate. They didn't want a girl from her kind of family representing them abroad. Her lips trembled, but she forced out the words. So everything I achieved meant nothing the moment you learned who my parents are? Silence. No one denied it. Her fists curled under the table. She looked at the principal first. He looked away, then at the scholarship rep. He blinked like a coward, then at the woman. She held her gaze proudly, like she had just executed justice. Adeola swallowed hard. Who got the scholarship then? The rep hesitated, then said a name. A boy from a wealthier, publicly presentable family. Not even top 5 in academics. Adeola stood slowly. You want a certain kind of image. Fine, but don't pretend this was ever about excellence. She walked out, feeling a heat she had never felt before. Anger mixed with humiliation, so sharp it scraped inside her chest. By lunch break, the entire school had heard. Some students whispered pity. Others whispered agreement. Of course they chose someone from a respectable family. A few said the quiet part out loud. Scholarships are branding, not charity. Adeola ignored all of them until the debate club teacher stopped her after class. I read your essay, he said quietly. It was the most powerful piece I've seen in a decade. If you allow this to stay buried, no one will ever know what they did to you. Adeola looked at him. What do you want me to do? Expose them. Her throat tightened. You think anyone will listen? He didn't answer. He just placed a USB flash drive in her hand. They're internal scoring sheets. I made a copy before they locked the file. Adeola froze. You saved them? Not for them, he said. For the day, they would try something like this. Adeola took the flash drive home. That night she opened it. There was raw, incriminating proof. Her name was ranked number 1 in every metric. The boy they selected ranked number 7. A handwritten note beside Adela's name. Optics concern. Her family is not an ideal representation. Her hands shook as she scrolled. There was no ambiguity, no misinterpretation, no room to pretend it was about anything else. Not merit, not competition, not fairness. It was identity. Her father saw her face when she came out of the room. Did something happen at school? Adeola hesitated, then told them everything, every word, every phrase, every glance, every humiliation. Her mother's hands tightened around the edge of the table. So they're saying the daughter of this family cannot represent excellence? Her father didn't speak for a full minute. Then he said one sentence quietly. Then they have not met this family yet. He stood up, straightened his posture with the dignity of a soldier before a battle. We will not beg. We will not petition. We will not plead for inclusion. We will show the world the truth. Adeola watched him, stunned. You want to go public? I want to go loud, he corrected. He turned to her. But the choice is yours. If you want silence, we bury it. If you want justice, we burn them with their own documents. Adeola inhaled slowly. There was fear and fury fighting inside her chest. She closed her eyes and opened them with new expression, one she had never worn before. We go loud. The debate coach helped draft a public expose. Her father prepared a press letter. Her mother contacted a journalist known for exposing academic discrimination. But they didn't post immediately. They waited. They waited for the Scholarship Foundation to announce the boy publicly, to congratulate him online, to sign their name proudly under the lie, so that when the truth dropped, the fall would be harder. When the foundation finally posted the boy's face with the caption, "Excellence deserves recognition," Adeola's father looked at her and simply said, "Now we begin." She hit post. The files, the essay, the internal scoring sheets, the discriminatory note, everything. Within 47 minutes, it had 18,000 shares. Within 2 hours, national hashtags began forming. Within 5 hours, the Scholarship Foundation disabled comments. Within 12 hours, news outlets were tagging the school. By morning, they weren't hiding anymore. They were scrambling, and the story was only just beginning. By sunrise the next day, the foundation's inbox was on fire. Screenshots flooded the internet, and the post had crossed 500,000 shares. Television anchors were already saying it on air. A top-ranking student was denied an international scholarship due to her family background. The foundation tried to release a statement. We are investigating the allegations. But it only made things worse because people asked the obvious. Investigating what? The evidence is already public. The comments turned into fire. Return the scholarship to the rightful student. Discrimination in 2025? Shameful. Show the scoring sheets or admit guilt. The boy who had been awarded the scholarship deleted his page and went silent. His own relatives began distancing themselves online. Nobody wanted to defend selection, now exposed as fraudulent. By noon, the school sent an email calling Adeola and her parents for an urgent closed-door meeting. They arrived to a boardroom full of damage control. The principal, 3 foundation executives, a legal advisor, the same woman who mocked her family background yesterday, now visibly shaken. The principal began, voice trembling. Adeola, we recognize that a grave oversight was made. Her father leaned forward. Not an oversight, a decision. The foundation director exhaled deeply and turned to the woman from the committee. Say it, he demanded quietly. She swallowed hard. We should not have used your family identity as a disqualifying factor. It was inappropriate and not representative of our values. Not representative? Adeola's mother shot back. You signed it with ink. Another executive offered what they thought was an olive branch. We are prepared to reinstate the scholarship immediately and issue a public apology. And Adeola raised a finger, stopping him mid-sentence. You are not doing any of this because you are sorry, she said. You are doing it because you got caught. Silence. No one denied it. Before leaving the room, Adeola's father stood. You will not restore it quietly. You disgraced our child publicly. You will correct it publicly. That evening, under media pressure, the foundation held a live-stream press conference. Cameras, lights, headlines already rolling. The same woman who once sat with arrogance now stood on camera, reading words she clearly hated. We rescind the previously announced scholarship recipient and officially award the international scholarship to Adeola Williams, who earned the highest ranking by every evaluation metric. Then came the sentence the internet replayed everywhere for days. We acknowledge that her original disqualification was influenced by her family identity, which was an act of bias. Journalists erupted with follow-ups. Will there be resignations? Will the board be restructured? Was this an isolated case or a pattern? The woman shook, trapped, humiliated in front of millions. Exactly the same way she once made a teenage girl feel, but now with the world watching. When the cameras cut off, the foundation director turned to Adeola. "You have your scholarship. We hope this puts the issue to rest." Adeola didn't smile. "This issue rests when you change policy, not just a headline," her father added, "and when the staff involved face real consequences, not stage regret." Within 72 hours, 2 board members stepped down, including the woman. The foundation announced a new policy banning identity-based disqualification and mandating third-party audits. The world celebrated Adeola, not just for winning a scholarship, but for forcing a system to confess its bias under light. 2 weeks later, as Adeola packed for a flight abroad, an anonymous email landed in her inbox. "You were not the first. We have files. Dozens of old rejected students. Similar optics-concerned notes. A pattern. A cover-up. This fight was not finished. It had only changed battlefield." The email with 4 words, "You're not the first," was still open on Adila's laptop at 2:11 a.m. when she made her decision. She would not leak anything in secret. She would not whisper. She would finish this war with her name attached, so the world would know exactly who forced the truth into daylight. She clicked reply and typed, "Send everything." The files arrived in batches before morning: transcripts, scoring sheets, internal chats, 9 other students over 6 years flagged with the same handwritten note. Optics concern. Family not ideal. This was not a mistake. It was a pattern, and she now held his throat. Her father read the new files silently, face unmoving. When he finished, he closed the laptop and looked at her. This time, he said quietly, "We do not simply expose a decision. We dismantle a system." Her mother added, "And we sign our name under it so history remembers who did it." Adeola nodded once. No tears, no fear, just resolve. They assembled a strike plan. The debate coach verified every document's authenticity. A lawyer friend reviewed them for defamation-proof release. A journalist prepared an investigative feature. Adeola drafted a public letter under her name. But they didn't post immediately. They waited for the foundation to make one more fatal mistake. A televised education summit scheduled for Saturday, where the foundation's director would give a keynote speech about ethics and merit in scholarship selection. That was the stage. They would let him boast first, then tear the mask off while the cameras were still hot. Saturday, 11:03 a.m. The director stood at a lectern, smiling, preaching fairness. Cameras rolled. Journalists live-tweeted every sanitized sentence. At 11:14 a.m., exactly as he said the words, "Every student we choose represents integrity," Adeola hit post. A 97-page document dump. 8 names. 6 years. Handwritten discrimination notes. Time-stamped chats between board members mocking undesirable backgrounds. Her own formal statement signed in full. "My name is Adeola Williams. I was the top-ranked candidate. I was rejected for my family identity. And I am not the only one." Within 4 minutes, half the audience in the summit began checking their phones. Murmurs rose. Cameras forgotten. A journalist in the room stood and shouted, "Director, is this you?" He froze on stage, mid-speech, blinking under lights that now felt like interrogation lamps. A reporter read aloud from the leak in real time. "Optics concern, not ideal family representation. This is your handwriting." Another voice. "Why were higher-ranked students rejected for image filtering?" Another. "Is this why you apologized to Adeola last week?" The director tried breathing through his nose, shaking. "This data is taken out of context." A journalist raised her phone. Full PDFs, board emails, signatures. "This is not context. This is policy." Live stream viewers multiplied by the minute. Sponsors began pulling logos off the broadcast crawler. The director's reputation was disintegrating in real time. Then came the kill shot. A journalist turned her screen to the cameras. "Here are 9 victims. Are you calling all of them liars?" He had no answer. He lowered his head. Cameras devoured the moment. By evening, 3 board members resigned, including the woman who dismissed Adeola. The foundation publicly dissolved the entire selection committee. Parliament announced an inquiry into discriminatory selection practices. a national education bill was drafted to outlaw reputation-based filtering in merit awards. And at 8:52 p.m., the Foundation issued a second statement. Not defensive, not cosmetic, a surrender. We officially void all prior optics-based criteria. Every student previously flagged will be awarded compensation and formal apology. Effective immediately, all future selections will be audited by external oversight. No conditions, no excuses, no soft language. Adeola read it once, then closed her phone. She did not cheer. She did not cry. Her father sat beside her and said quietly, "You ended it in daylight. That is how justice is done." The next morning, an international newspaper ran the headline, "Student Forces Global Foundation to Admit Bias. Reforms implemented after evidence dump." There was no sequel needed. No comeback from the perpetrators. No shadow twist. The system was not wounded. It was rewritten. Adeola zipped her suitcase the night before her departure, not as a victim given pity, but as a girl who made them rewrite the rules before she boarded the plane. Before sleep, her mother looked at her and said, "They wanted someone who represented their image. Instead, they got someone who changed their history."